Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Barbecue Roundtable. I'm Jason Hardy with Elite Barbecue Smokers, and today we got an awesome lineup of guests. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk all things about barbecue and steaks tonight. So I appreciate y'all coming in. But do me a favor, like, share, subscribe to our page on YouTube. Check that out. Also, share this with your friends and family. Let them know what we do, because we do this every Tuesday night, and with y'all support, we hope to keep doing it. So all that being stated, let's bring everybody up. Let's get this party started. Oh, let's do a little shifting around. There we go. Jason has incompatible. Jason stuff you incompatible with everybody, Jason.
Well, it says something about recordings incompatible, whatever that means.
Oh Lord. Technology with Jason, technology.
I got a Mac, I got a MacBook. That's what I'm on. So
that's what I'm on too.
What's up, Trumpet Master? See, you had a new video posting out there. I appreciate it. Look, good video, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. So again, everybody got any questions, ask them tonight, but also do us a great favor and share this thing. But before we go any further, we need to start introducing everybody. So with all that being stated, Mr. Justin, you on top of the game, you go first.
Justin Holt Brothers Barbecue. Been off a couple weeks. Good to be back on the show. Charlotte, North Carolina.
Jason Singletary with Smoke Central Barbecue out of Lake City, South Carolina.
So me and Justin's been, like I said, we co-hosting the show, and it's been a lot of fun. Have been able to get some great guests on there and have a lot of good conversations. But Jason's kind of a great friend of both of ours, and he's been very successful in barbecue. But before we get into all the barbecue side of it and all that, we kind of like to get a backstory. And so, Jason, how did you kind of get the passion for cooking, not competition cooking, just cooking in general?
I always had a passion for actually cooking. So always since I was a young guy. And then my church used to do this huge barbecue where they cook like 12, 13 hogs. And it was all shoveling coals, the old style, the old pits. And just remember hanging out with my granddad and my uncles and everybody out there, just cooking those hogs. And I just remember, I mean, that smell, that smell just attracted me. And, and all, I don't know, I just fell in love with it. So, I just kind of every year at Christmas time, I wanted to cook a hog with shoveling coals, and then just started tinkering around with some, different types of smokers and grills. And then, when as far as like when the competition barbecue bug bit me is when those Pitmaster shows come out around 2012, 2013, I guess. And then found me a contest that was coming to Myrtle Beach, a KCBS contest. And I said, well, shoot, there you go. I'm going to go try it. So I packed up every grill I had, and I must have had like 5 or 6 grills in the back of a pickup truck, got me a tent, and fooled Philip Miles into coming with me, and off we went. He had no idea what we was doing. So we went there and didn't do bad that weekend, kind of finished mid-pack. And you remember where that contest was at, Jason, already right there at the Commons, right? Market Commons?
Is in Market Commons.
Yeah.
Now it's a baseball field. Back then it was just
a
soccer field or just a big field.
Yeah. So the Walmart right around the corner?
Yes, I do.
So that's where I went and bought a brisket when I got there that Friday.
Sweet.
And brisket was one of my best. I finished I remember I finished like in the top 20 in brisket.
Wow.
So it was just, I don't know, it just, I had a good. We worked our tails off. I mean, we were just wore out that next day. Just up cooking all night. And anyway, so I knew I loved it. So I was like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. So I took a year off. I got me a trailer, and I actually ordered me a trailer. It wasn't in. I used Phillips to go back to that same contest next year because he already had a trailer. Bought me a smoker, but I used Phillips smoker when we went back because him and Glenn had bought that Deep South, that double Deep South deal that Danny Kugel actually won the contest on, the first one I went to. Remember, Danny Kugel won that thing. Well, they bought that smoker from Randall. Anyway, me and Glenn went back and freaking got I won chicken, and they were like, and this is a special win because he got a 180. I had no idea. I was like, what is a 180? What's so special about that? I had no idea what a 180 was. I won chicken. I got a call in pork. I was like 6th or 7th in pork. And I mean, that was the only 2 calls I got. Pretty much won the other 2 categories. But man, I was hooked then, son. I was hooked and then, just started spending the money, getting everything he needed. Went and took Jim Berg's class, and he really got me straightened out. And after I took Jim Berg's class, that's when I won my first GC. So I mean, I cooked a few contests, after that before Jim Bird's struggling. I mean, I just didn't. I just got lucky when I won that chicken, I mean, but I don't know. It's just the bug bit me, and I knew I wanted to do it, and I wanted to be competitive. So went and took a few classes, and it's been over with since then.
So let me back up a minute. Your second KCBS contest, you got 180 in chicken.
Yep, 180 in chicken.
Jeez.
Yeah. I had no idea what the hell a 180 was. Had no idea what 180 was. I'll tell you what my barbecue sauce was. I took that Sonny's barbecue sauce, and I mixed half with tailgater hater sauce. Half tailgater hater, half Sonny's. And that's what I dipped my chicken in.
Awesome.
I knew how to trim chicken because I'd watched enough video. You know what I'm saying? I not necessarily watched videos, but I'd watched, I guess, talked to enough people. I did watch the videos or whatever. Anyway, I knew the whole basics behind trimming chicken. Of course, I'm sure it didn't look good, but anyway, yeah, I didn't know. I had no idea what a 180 was. It was a little gold star, had 180 engraved in the middle of it. That's what the 180 pins looked like back then. I think I got that thing right there somewhere.
But anyway,
anyway,
let's back this here.
It was cool, man. That was anyway.
It was awesome. I'm just saying that. Yeah. So let's get to Jason Singletary's story straight here. Jason came out doing a contest, enjoyed it, had a good time, got a call on his first contest, go back home, takes a year off, regroups, gets some stuff together, comes back.
I didn't get any calls first contest.
I thought you said you got a call. You didn't get
no
calls?
I had my brisket. I had that Walmart brisket that finished in like top 20. I didn't get any calls.
Well, okay.
But, yeah. But,
at that time, I think it was 50 or 60 teams cooking that contest.
Man, that was huge. That's when they did SBN and KCBS together. Wow. It was huge. Altogether, there was probably 100 teams. But they had SBN and KCBS cooking the same time. So
SBN or SCBA?
No, SBN.
It was SBN back then?
Yeah, because, the Shriners put that contest on. They're big in the SBN.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you could cook one or two or both. You could cook both contests if you wanted to. So, yeah.
A lot of people go for a long time to get a 180 and struggle for that and try their very best to get that. And Jason comes out second contest and just knocks it out the park with 180 chicken.
Yeah. Had no idea what I was doing or what a 180 was.
Well, you didn't throw it in the trash, did you? Kept it, right?
No, that's right. Yeah.
So how many 180s have you won over the years now?
I've only got one. I've got one 180 in ribs, got one 180 in brisket, and I've got several 180s in chicken. I don't know. When I say several, I don't know. Maybe 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I really don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I got pork's the only thing I hadn't got 180, and that's my next goal. I want to get a 180 in pork, which I think pork is the hardest thing in the world to get a 180 in my opinion.
I think pork to get a 180 has got to be different.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest things with pork. When you get to 180 in pork, it's just got to be a little bit different. And ribs is, I have no idea. I was close this weekend, but I wasn't there. I mean,
yeah, you was almost there.
Yeah.
Same with me in pork. I was one taste score out of a 180 this weekend in pork.
Damn.
You take my drop score out, I had all 9s except 1 8 in taste.
Jeez.
So, and Hardy had all 9s except 1 8 in tenderness. Because I looked at his scores. He was 1 8 away from 1 9 away from a 180 in ribs.
Golly.
Yeah, so, we were. I mean, we bombed chicken. I mean, we messed up chicken. I mean, I told you after the contest, we totally just got heavy-handed with chicken, and it cost us heavy.
Kenny G down there, Kenny. They can't nobody take that name, buddy. That's your name. I used to always, and Kenny can tell you this. Every time I'd call Kenny, or if he called me, I'd call him. I say, "What's up, Kenny G?" I always called him Kenny G. And then after he started killing it, I said, "No more Kenny G. Your name's Kenny GC from now on." I call him on the phone. What's up, Kenny GC? That is the man.
He has been really steady and consistent, and consistent's on top of the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I mean, he's been really consistent there. But it's been a lot of fun in there. So you said when you grew up, you kind of learned cooking hogs, kind of old school style. Now, explain the old school style for people out here that doesn't know what that is.
Cinder block pits. Had a big fire barrel that you just steady threw splits of wood on, and you shoveled coals out the bottom every 15 to 20 minutes. You put a shovel of coals up under the hog. So, well, not directly up under the hog. They would beat you if you done that. We had to do it up under. You went down the sides and then over up under the hams and shoulders. So, but yeah, man, that's just that's just the way we grew up, and we did it every year. And I'm telling you, it's just like that smell. And Brian Corbett said it best on that show he was on. It's like how do you say, hillbilly cologne or redneck cologne or something like that? He said, I forgot what he said, but he said it best. I was like, that is the best. That's the best way I've ever heard it put, but he's exactly right. Man, you start with, it's just insane, man. That just that smell. That's just something it'll be with me forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need to line up, put together a non-sanctioned contest, but just get a bunch of guys together and have a contest, and all it's got to build our own pits, cinder block pits, and cook a whole hogs on that, and see who can win that contest. Because when you build those pits, and for those that never built old cinder block pits, what you got to do is you got to build the pits, and you got to put the holes in there so the air can flow in there. But when you shoving coals in there, the beauty of those pits is you're putting coals underneath the hams, underneath the Boston butts and stuff here to cook them at different temperatures. Whereas if you do it in an old Carolina gas cooker, the whole thing's the same temperature, and you basically just stuffing it full of bacon or Boston butts, whatever else, to even it out.
Right.
When you're doing those old school pits, man, you have got to say that you've got to come in there and just be able to shovel coals and shift it around, and it makes absolutely phenomenal tasting barbecue.
Absolutely. There's nothing like it. There's Brian. It's hickory smoking vinegar sauce, man, like redneck cologne. That's it. And he's exactly right. I'm telling you, get that hickory wood going there, man. You start dripping the fat on those coals, man. It takes it to another level. It does. I understand. I look back at it now because he's a freaking genius. But you got Myron Mixon sales out that memories class he's got, and people are amazed at him just sitting there cooking a hog over coals. And I'm thinking to myself, why didn't I think of that? I could have been doing that since I was 12. And he's got a freaking class that sales out every time he has it. He's a freaking genius anyway when it comes to stuff like that. But I'm just saying, it's amazing, and the way I grew up like that. Me being a kid, in my mind, I thought everybody did that.
Yeah.
And it just blows my mind. The older I get, everybody's like, "What? Well, you did what now?" And then when people would come visit, and we even had family up in Columbia and up in the northern part of the state, not even out of South Carolina. They would come down and they were just freaking amazed at it. It's just like, really, that's how you do that? Oh man, this is awesome. That's the best stuff I ever had. I was like, dang, don't everybody do this?
No, it doesn't. Now, Brian Corbett said he done it on the fly, but Brian is the king of one-liners.
Yeah, no doubt.
He needs to get somebody run around him on a tape recorder and take all his one-liners and put it in a book. That little calendar they have, there's a little Rolodex calendar every day. You could do a Brian Corbett's Rolodex for one-liners.
That's right.
And you could sell the crap out of it.
Man, he was born for TV. That dude did it. They did him and old
Matt Grinder.
Yeah, Matt. They did an awesome job on that show.
Amazing.
When our show comes out, even if they let us be on TV, we don't even know if we're going to be on there yet. But it's not going to be nothing like Brian and them. I'm going to go ahead and prepare y'all for that right now. They were made for TV. We wasn't. The FS Trio was not made for TV. But I think we did a good job on there, so we're going to be all right.
All right, so you brought it up. So you were filmed. Tell us where you were filmed at and what show what you was kind of preliminary filmed about.
Oh, so the Barbecue USA season 2. So they kind of reached out to us because we went to that contest in Apalachicola the year prior and we won the contest. So they were going to be filming an episode there. So they kind of reached out to us being the returning GC. So we went back, and it's me, Joseph Puccio, and Frank Nagel. So when we went the first year, it was the blank show trio, trying to clean it up for the show. You fill in the blank. So whenever we were going back for TV, I was like, boy, we got to make this thing TV and T-shirt friendly. So we changed it up to the SS trio. So anyway, went back and filmed it. And we had a ball. We didn't do as good in the competition we would like to, and but man, we had a great time doing it. That is an experience that if anybody ever gets to do it, you need to take it on, man. It is, and I just hope and pray that maybe I can do it again, you know, in the future. I mean, I hope I didn't ruin my TV career when this thing comes out. But it was awesome, man. It was great. It was great. I wouldn't take anything back. I wouldn't change anything about it. I would just do it all over again, man. It was freaking awesome.
That's pretty amazing.
But it'll be coming out in July. Jason, answer your question.
July.
It's with Michael Simon, his show, Barbecue USA, and it should air in July sometime. They haven't given us a date yet, so.
Well, y'all three are absolutely a trip to hang out with. If y'all not in this show, then I'm gonna be surprised because
I hope we make the
cut. I'm pretty sure that y'all make the cut. I mean, now since Joseph brought this up here, so Tim Malloy is Backyard Bros Barbecue. He's kind of supposedly retired. I still expect him to come back out there and start cooking in the future. If anybody knows him, call and give him a hard time about that. But he said y'all went down there and y'all was kind of having a good time down there. And Joseph saying here, you kind of like put him under the table.
Yeah, well, you know, Tim's a really good friend of mine. I've known Tim for a long time. But anyway, so Tim's a hoot now. He's a party. He's just a walking party. That's what Tim is. So, so when we got down there, all those guys had already told Tim since he was retired he had one job to do, and that was to get us drunk, obliterated, and just so we wouldn't do good in the contest. Well, needless to say, we put him to bed the first night, and the second night he wouldn't even come. He wouldn't even hardly come out and play with us long. But I mean, I don't think he lasted about an hour or two the second night. But he said he was done. We broke him. I put it that way. Yeah, so.
That's a claim to fame right there.
Yes, sir. If we won one thing that weekend, it was that. Tim Malloy didn't put us down. He didn't do his job that weekend. I promise we put him to bed. He couldn't even speak by the end of the night. He was doing sign language. He was just pointing where he wanted to go. But man, I love Tim Malloy to death, man. I'm telling you, he is a hoot. I love that guy to death.
So for y'all don't know Tim Malloy, so Tim Malloy Country Contest, he is a walking party, no joke. But they had a megaphone, and they would be there, and that megaphone would be going off at all hours of every time unimaginably. And I think we Boss Hog, BBQ, we stole his megaphone because we were sitting beside him. It was about to drive me nuts. We basically went and stole his megaphone, so we could just focus because. I mean, it could be funny when he was doing that, but then it also can be like, "All right, Tim." Yeah, and it wasn't Tim. Actually, I had to say this: it wasn't Tim. It was everybody else in the come by and grab a megaphone, and they could have too much fun with that megaphone.
Yeah.
But Greenwood last year, so Tim was sat beside me, and I put Tim onto the Pandora, the Outlaw Barbecues channel. I mean, Outlaw Country channel.
Oh boy!
And now he played that thing the entire time. I was so happy. That was amazing.
Oh Lord, old Tim. He's a one of a kind, that's for sure. They broke the mold when they made that one.
He's good as gold.
He is good, dude. He'll give your shirt off his back.
He is absolutely good as gold. But I do think if we done a contest, we could go old school style doing a contest with those center blocks where you can have the hollow spots in the block kind of have the air holes so you can shift it around. I think that would be a truly an awesome competition to have between some people.
Oh yeah, that'd be great.
I think that would be a really cool situation. I think it would be something other interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see different things. And then when you tell everybody got to put ribs on there and cook ribs on that thing also,
right?
That'd be a game changer.
Oh yeah,
that'll be something interesting to do. Let's change gears a second right here. So, Justin up here. So you cooked this past weekend also.
Yep.
So tell us about the contest you were at this past weekend.
Yeah, it's a SCA contest up in Rutherford College, North Carolina, near Hickory. It's where they do the Pig Masters KCBS contest every year. And it was I think it was 26 cooks there. It was a double, so 2 steaks in the afternoon. And then first category was ancillary, anything bacon. And this year SCA they changed a lot of the ancillary rules. Everything from all the garnish that you put in the box for an ancillary has to be edible, because people were putting, little pipettes with sauce and spoons and sparklers and all kinds of stuff in the box. So they simplified that. They said you can only put a little vessel, like a plastic thing to hold something. No spoons, edible garnish only. And if it's a category like anything blank, which this one was anything with bacon, the anything has to be the star of the show. So if if the judge can't taste bacon or can't taste sausage or whatever it is, the category is at the end, your score is going to reflect that, especially in the overall impression, which is the final and one of the heavier weighted things in SCA, both on the steak side and the ancillary. So I started thinking a lot of people are going to be coming up there and cooking something deep fried, and a lot of people are going to be wrapping something with bacon. So I'm going to come with something sweet. I just got end of last year, I bought a really nice electric ice cream maker. It's kind of specifically to try out some ancillaries. And I was like, I'm going to make some maple bacon ice cream, which sounds crazy. But it actually worked out really well. I did vanilla ice cream. I put maybe a teaspoon of liquid smoke in there, and I candied a whole bunch of bacon with just brown sugar on it and let that cool out and crumbled up, and I mixed that in. And I swear to you, it was some killer ice cream, but it really tasted like smoky bacon.
Really?
But the thing is, last weekend before last, it was like 50 degrees and cool here, which would have been a perfect time to, take some ice cream that you made, homemade ice cream, which everybody knows if you've ever made it. It melts pretty quick. Yeah, Saturday was like 90, 92 degrees. We're not in the trailer. We're just in a pop-up tent in a field.
I was wondering how when I saw your box, I was like, how to keep that ice cream together?
I have these containers, that put it in. I kept it in the freezer until the morning that we left, and I put that thing in a cooler and immediately covered the whole thing.
Homemade ice cream? Huh? Did you say it was home? Was it homemade ice cream or?
Yep, homemade ice cream. Yep. And with that, you ain't got all the stuff that store-bought ice cream has in it, so
right.
It melts pretty quick.
Oh,
I kept that thing in there until 5 minutes before turn-in started. I also made these little mini waffles with some of that candied bacon in there and cut them in squares that would fit in the bottom of the little cups that I had. But I got everything out, put them all in the box, ready to go, and I grabbed that ice cream out. It was already starting to melt, and dipped it in there. It was already running out of the sides of the containers and stuff, and put some bacon on there. And I was like, well, we'll see what the judges think. And so as they started getting through awards, when they call top 10 and you get to walk up there and say who you are. And usually most people will say what they made.
Right.
And some of that stuff sounded so good. Somebody made bacon cannolis. We made, chocolate bacon stuffed cupcakes. And I was like, I don't have a chance. Like, there's no way. They got melted ice cream soup, because you don't know when your box is going to go back.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. I don't know. And so Hollis, he's sitting beside me, and he's addicted to those golden tickets. And he loves, you get the little bitty, there you just get a ticket. It's not by name. They call out your number on the raffle ticket. And so, man, he's counting down on that, and I got down to the last one and called our number. And I was like, yeah, baby. And he's like, I told you, Daddy, I told you.
That's awesome.
And so we scored our golden ticket, which is really good. I'll make some homemade ice cream. I'll bring it. I swear. We'll do strawberry or something. Whatever's in
He's calling you out here.
He walked right into that one, Jazz. Good deal. That's the way to pull him in there.
It's good. It takes it like maybe 30 minutes, and you've got a big thing of ice cream.
Well, you better make a 5-gallon tub of DJ's coming. That's all I can tell you.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, DJ's going to Wagyu brisket burger ice cream. Yeah, it was good. And then our steaks did pretty good, too. We got a 7th and a 5th with almost 150, which is a really good score. And I'm glad that I got the golden ticket early in the season, because that means that I don't have to worry about squeezing in ancillaries at other SCA contests, which are fun, but you got to take a bunch of stuff, and
now, when you get the golden ticket for the ancillary side, can you cook the steak out there in Texas when you go, or you
got to win a state golden ticket too?
Yeah, you can't like if you go with the ancillary, you can't, not unless you got a golden ticket, of course.
Yeah, if you can do
you
can do the Open, which is on Sunday. They call that like the Cowtown Classic.
Well, that makes that okay. Well, that's cool.
Just get more people out there, because some people would only get that. So
right.
So I'll probably do some more. There's a couple that's, I think Wise has Friday night SCA, and they've got a wing ancillary, and it's always fun cooking. Cooking chicken wings at any contest. But yeah, we were pretty happy with that. Got a good stack of cash.
Heck yeah.
Got a pretty cool trophy. It's got a little.
Oh yeah, Chase would destroy that.
Cow dangler there, and
yeah,
we were the only team or only cooks that walked 3 times.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was pretty good. Yeah, so if I can keep up that consistency, I feel pretty good about getting a first place, or at least a hand-me-down golden ticket. Because if you've ever done that, as the season goes on, you can only score 1 for the season. So if you get first place in another one, then you just hand it down to the person in second place or third place if they've already got one. So your chances of getting a golden ticket kind of increase as the season goes on.
Lord have mercy. We got a stage right here.
Yep.
I'll have kind of fun here.
Peanut gallery, online peanut gallery.
We're talking about Chase. Whenever you had that trophy, I said, "Oh yeah, Chase has destroyed that." That's Frank's little. You better not get a trophy next Chase. Is all I can do.
Yeah, he can't be rough on him, can he?
And he couldn't put $100 bills in the box this past weekend. I couldn't afford to do that. I won the contest with top 3 in all 4 categories and still broke when I got home.
Jeez.
Oh, come on. Oh, yeah.
I just figured, look, when I left home that day, I told Sabrina I wasn't going for the money. That was for sure. It's great contest. And I understand they raising money for those kids, so I didn't have no problem with that. I was good with that, but I went there. They could have paid nothing, and I still went. So,
yeah, I mean, we were both of us up there, we were both up there. I would say, you may prove me say I'm wrong with this, to basically tweak our recipes, check on consistency, and just kind of see what we got going on. I think that's what my goal was, and
oh yeah,
I totally bombed chicken. I mean, I'm really just aggravated crap out of myself with chicken. Pork was pork. We messed it up because I had too much cerveza Friday night.
The only recipe I tweaked was brisket, and Hardy helped me out there with some brisket ideas, so I will give him that. So, but the other ones I run straight what I've been running. I paid more attention to is what happened. I cooked it right. I put it that way. So, which I thought I'd overcooked my ribs a little bit, but.
So the Augustus right here. So we was at the restaurant over there, and the young lady said that I look like an Augustus from Lonesome Dove. I took that as a compliment. I really think it was pretty cool.
Oh, Augustus.
No way.
I swear. Am I lying, Jason? Are you there?
No,
I'm not lying. She said I look like Augustus. I'm like, seriously? But I mean, I'll take it. I mean, so Augustus is kind of what Adam's picking at right here. I resemble the remark. First ever marinated cook. Dude, I totally spilt half of my pork injection, And when I went and checked my pork, I messed up, and that because of that, too much fun there on Friday night. Jason, you'll tell us what you said at barbecue church on Saturday morning.
Oh yeah. Well, I walked over to Jason's place first. Well, I got to barbecue church right before I walked over to the house. I was like, so this is what it's like not to be hungover on Saturday morning. I was like, I said, this is what it's like not to get drunk on Friday or something like that.
Yeah.
I felt good. I was refreshed. I was like, oh, let's go. Nah, it's all good, man.
Joseph, it depends on what you're on. If you're on YouTube, you'll see YouTube comments. You're on EliteBBQSmokers, you'll see the EliteBBQSmokers comment. If you're on Jason Hardy, you'll see the comments there. I'm posting them online right here to kind of get everybody to see them, but that's why you're not seeing all the comments in there. But no, seriously, anybody got any questions, totally ask them. Be happy to help it out. Derek, give me a call. We'll help you out all we can with that.
Jason's the king. Jason Hardy, you better talk to him. He helped me a little. He helped me tweak a few things this past weekend, which I mean it was all week. I mean we've been talking during the week and stuff too, but you know we had both the same, I guess, ideas on brisket. He just helped me tweak them. I guess is the best way to put that, right, Jason Hardy? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, I mean,
I ain't scared to tell you when somebody helps me now. I mean, I didn't get where I'm at by doing it by myself. I can tell you that now. So,
and I think that kind of brings up a really good point to kind of just talk about. What we talk about right here is, I think one of the most critical things to do in barbecue, and this is going to sound totally crazy, but when you do it, it starts helping you out. When you start finding people you can kind of share information together, and what you'll find out when you sharing information on there, it's got to be a two-way street. If it's not a two-way street, then you're barking up a dead tree. But if it's a two-way street and you can kind of just start bouncing ideas off of each other, you're going to help each other out and go on a chain.
If you don't have somebody to lean on in this, I'm going to say sport or hobby or whatever you want to call it, if you don't have somebody to lean on, you'll drive yourself crazy, man. I'm telling you. You'll walk around in circles in your yard talking to yourself, trying to figure something out. So I've been there and done it. I'm telling you, man, you got to have some good friends with some, you got to lean on somebody every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's a very important thing to it. And it kind of goes into the question we kind of asked in the thing is, how important are notes? And I am probably obsessed with notes, competition stuff.
Well, yeah.
Would you say that, Jason?
100%. Yeah, I'll never be like Jason Hardy. I can go ahead and tell you that. It just ain't in my nature. It's in his nature to be like that. You walk into Jason Hardy's trailer, he's got a full race board up there with color coded, doggone secret signs and secret handshakes and secret passwords and color coded caps and I'm telling you, you might have to say a word to get into some secret vault to get certain salt or shaker out. That's just how he is, man. He's just got everything has a color to it. Everything has a name. It's insane, but it works for Jason Hardy. That would never work for me. Now, what I did learn is going back, like before I went to this contest this past weekend, I went back over my last 4 contests and looked at where I was missing it at. And then I went back to my notes, what notes I had from classes and different things and just because everything I go to a contest with has been up here. I don't have a spreadsheet. And Frank and Joseph and Jason can tell you that I've never had a spreadsheet, never. Everything I go by is off the seat of my pants, and I might take a picture of my notes and put them on my phone and go back to a recipe if I can't remember it, but everything's in my head. So I went back and I made a few notes, and then after this weekend, after I finally put everything together, I sat down after the contest and I wrote 3 pages of notes. So
he is, but what Jason can do in the last 5 minutes of a barbecue competition is what very few people can do. He can sit there and taste something other and just pull something random off the shelf that he knows is going to complement that flavor, and he can add it to it. I cannot do that.
Right.
I don't have that flavor profile that be able to do that. I can get close, but I can't do what he's doing. So in the last 5 minutes, he can sit there and tweak stuff, and it just brings it to a whole nother level. I mean, that's why he's doing very well in the flavor profile game.
I've heard that many times over several shows that I've watched. Everybody said you can win or lose a contest on the board. and that means on the cutting board. So when it gets that cutting board before it goes in that box, that's when you got to make it happen, Captain.
Yep.
I mean, that it changes so much from the time you take it out to full to the time it goes in that box. To me, it changes drastically. Everything does. So
and it changes also the 15 minutes on set in the box and get cold.
Oh, so, absolutely, yeah. If your food don't taste good cold, you're not gonna make it, because they're eating cold food. They might eat hot chicken, and that's the only thing they're gonna get is hot chicken. After that, they're eating cold food. So,
but seriously, that last 5 minutes, if you truly want to practice at home, you need to practice the last 5 minutes. You need to understand what it's going to do. And I've said this before. One of the best things I learned to do that is take chicken breast. Mm-hmm. Take chicken breasts, put them in the oven, cook them up, get them done, and they come out there and start doing different seasoning on them, and then just put them on the counter and let them get cold and then taste them. Take notes and stuff on that, because what you'll find out is if you put this sugar and a raw on something other, how's it going to taste cold? Or if you put this other piece on this got a high salt content, how's it going to taste cold? And the same thing is like you do in a chicken. If you understand why you scrape chicken, it's why you scrape the skin of chicken. Cook a chicken that you haven't scraped and cook a chicken that you have scraped when it gets cold. You'll totally night and day flavor profile.
Right. And, Jason, I just thought about something too. The week before, like last week before I went to the contest, when I was going through some of my old notes, I found a sheet of notes and on the top of it, it said Johns Island. You remember that contest? Yeah. So after that contest, I tried to write notes down, which I did write notes down. But I don't think I've looked at them notes since I left that contest. And that day was like this past weekend. I just killed it that day. I mean, it was just luck of everything. Lucky AF and luck of the tables and lucky everything else. So I mean, I think I won chicken that day. I was second in ribs and third. I think I was third in pork and third in brisket. It's just one of them days. And I wrote notes down after that. But anyway, I just thought about it when I found those last week when I was going through some of my notes. I just thought it was funny.
And that's the thing about it, like John's saying, is sometimes you go back to the old stuff, and it's a good thing to kind of go backwards in time and just say, okay, let's start over at the baseline. I wouldn't say start over baseline competition. I'd say practice at home. And if you know some judges doing a little at home frostbusters was a great thing to do. Is just get some judges come cook and let them taste it at home, because getting that information at a contest is kind of hard because they've already eaten all the food they can eat. Right. But doing it at home is where I'd practice at.
Yeah.
Devil's Cut and Coke Zero. And did y'all know that this past weekend we were out there in Georgia, Instacart would not deliver bourbon to the contest? I mean, it's kind of really just put me out.
Whole handle of vodka in that Instacart that they wouldn't bring me Friday night.
I will make sure it's not a problem in the future.
Didn't I, Jason Hart?
You tried. We tried, man. We tried for, I know, an hour. But I'm sitting going like, man, it's going to take me an hour to go to the liquor store.
I really didn't know how I was going to function on Saturday morning. I had to drink Monster and Monster. I didn't have anything to put in my Monster. And we vodka Monster 645. Well, sometimes after 645, that's the way it used to be. But it all depends on what we have in church. I just don't feel comfortable taking my vodka Monster to this Cook's church. But usually when we get back in church, we got the old trios over there fixing their cups. I put it that way. So somebody's hollering about where's your cups at. So I still fix my cup and I still have my Monster, but I didn't have anything else in it.
Joseph, we missed you, and I will say you and everybody, and we give everybody a hard time, but it was a fun contest. But yeah, we missed y'all there. Truly missed y'all there. Just having a good time, but. We were all having a good time. I mean, Friday night. We wasn't saints in that sense. Yeah. It was just.
We still had a good time Friday night. It was cool. It was calm, but it was nice. It was couldn't get nobody to act up with us. Me and Jason Hardy tried to walk around and try to find somebody to cut up with us, but.
Yeah, finally called it a night. Went to bed.
We even had Bad Rooster stay up with us till at least about 10 o'clock. I think he went to bed. I was like, well, shoot, we done put Rooster to bed. I guess we might as well go to bed.
Man, Adam went to bed and gave me went to bed, but gave me the rest of his whole bourbon bottle. I mean, he totally gave me the whole
Yeah, he
rest
left
of
it
his
over there
bottle.
with the top off of it. And I was like, I don't drink bourbon anyway. All these people turn up that bourbon talking about, oh, it's so good. It'll lie. Ain't nothing good about bourbon. And I know I'm gonna get killed in the comments, all these bourbon lovers out here, but I want to like it. All my friends love it, man. I go hang out with my friends, and they got all these different bottles of bourbon, and they all sipping and making it taste so good. And I'm like, man, let me try it. And I get over there, I was like, God, but what is it? There ain't no where the hell's that caramel note you talking about? And this and that. I was like, that tastes like pure freaking gasoline to me. So, but that's just me.
Just
I guess it's one of them tastes you have to acquire. Maybe I can acquire that taste one day when I grow up, I guess.
Jeez, have mercy. Oh, Lord. We had a lot of fun, but it was a great contest. It truly is a really good. You got reliable power. You own an asphalt parking lot. It's it's easy to get into and parking there. They had a state cook-off on Friday night. There was non-sanctioned, whatever. I learned that I just need to be the announcer. I don't need to cook steak for that thing because Adam's whip everybody's ass.
If you cook it when Adam's cooking it, you fighting for second.
I mean, I was sitting there. I was told I was the only person talking to the microphone. Had the whole sales pitch going, and Adam come in there and just made me look really bad.
Adam walks up there, smiles, and hands the man a steak.
I know. A heck of a steak.
They started throwing up tens like they had a graduation, throwing the hats off.
Yeah, he got perfect 60.
That was cool the way they judged that, though. It was kind of like so you turn your steak in, and they had like an MC there with a microphone, and you kind of told them where he was from, and all that good jazz, and you watched them eat your steak, and then they put up a score. They took a dry erase board and wrote their score, and they put the score up.
Neat.
So it was cool. It was cool, man. That was all. I had a good time. That was cool watching all that, and then I felt good. I was second place there for a long time until Adam come up there, and they threw every one of them threw tens up. And one man said, "Man, if I could give you 25, I give you 25." I was like, Jesus, I just want to lick the plate. Let me see what it tasted like. So,
I mean, he did knock it out apart, but he had a good steak too. I mean, it was nothing picking on Adam here. He had a really good steak, but he had a very nice steak to cook. But it was all fun. Now, one thing to let everybody know about here. So Memorial Day weekend, we're down at Myrtle Beach, and Jason and myself and Frank was down there just kind of having a Memorial Day party. And I'm going to let you describe what it is, Jason, because you were a whole lot more into the description about all this than I was.
What's that? About
the baby backs. The baby backs.
Oh,
the hurricaneados that Frank was speaking about earlier.
So we just it's pouring out. It's raining. It's literally a hurricane. I mean, I've been in some hurricanes type weather at the beach before, and that's what it reminded me of. It was wind blowing, raining sideways. So Frank's family's got a beach house down there, and it's he's in the high rent district, actually up on the ocean, not like me in the low rent district up the road. So he's got a raised beach house. So I was like, well, let's just go up under Frank's beach house, and Jason brought all his filming stuff. I was like, man, we could film an episode or a show or something. That'd be awesome. So Jason went and bought some baby backs, and he had some Snake River Farm Frankfurter hot dogs. Hot dogs, not no Frankfurters. But it says Frankfurters on them, but I told him that's what Northerners call hot dogs. So he had some of those. I was in charge of the ribs. He's like, man, you cook the ribs. I said, perfect. And we had a Weber Smoky Mountain. I had a 22.5-inch Weber Smoky Mountain down at my place at the beach. So I brought it, and they had they had a Recteq bullseye that they were cooking the hot dogs and the hamburgers on. So we were like, well, let's get this. I know I can cook ribs in 2 hours because I did it at Smoke Timber Fest. I was like, let's show these guys how to do some hot and fast, super fast ribs. Well, that Weber Smoky Mountain don't cook as hot as a Gateway drum. I don't care. It was wide open, man. Which the wind was blowing and it was raining, so that had a lot to do with it too. So But we got wide open. I got it at about 325, 350, somewhere in that neighborhood. And so our 2 hour rib turned into 2 hours and 45 minutes. We still got them done and finished in 3 hours. So I thought that was impressive myself. And they were absolutely phenomenal. Were they not, Jason Hardy?
I mean, we were sitting there, and I was editing video today, and I'm like, this afternoon, I was like, we should turn baby backs in competition.
And they were great. I haven't had baby backs in years.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. It's been like 6-7 years from we cooked them baby backs on a Weber Smoky Mountain there on the beach. And like I said, the wind was blowing. We were trying to do fire management there. We kept rotating it, trying to keep the air from just messing it up. You rotate it, wind change. I mean, it was just chaos. And cold, man. It's Memorial Day weekend at Myrtle Beach. It's not supposed to be cold, but it was cold.
Yeah.
The girls was miserable.
But what else you gonna do in that kind of weather at the beach? So I mean, we made an awesome time out of that miserable weather. It was great. I had never done like one of those little episodes like he does on the YouTube channel and all that. So I learned a lot. It was great. I thought it was awesome. I can't wait till he gets that thing edited and put out there.
It'll go out this week. It's gonna probably go out Sunday, just to get everything edited and get it all finished up. We're gonna start posting on Sunday, and then I'll go behind that with the Frankfurter Snake River Farms Frankfurters, and then the burgers or vice versa.
Hot dogs. Where's Moshelle at? Moshelle telling us hot dogs.
She's inside. It was but cooking them things and this is the interaction of everybody together with that cooking them baby back ribs and hot dogs stuff. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. We need to do that more often.
It was a good
that
time.
Was just, and like I said, it's a very educational perspective just to see what all goes into doing a video, because it's truly just.
I won ribs that day too. I won ribs.
You did win ribs. He won landslide.
Frank said I beat him by 15 points. Whoever was in second. I don't even know who else cooked ribs, but I won ribs that day.
Chris, you had a great contest up there this past week in Honeybee. I appreciate you putting it on there. We're planning to be back.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I appreciate all y'all's hard work. It was fun. It was awesome. I'll definitely be back.
It is. And I think what would be, like I said, I was telling you, if I could find somewhere to come back from Sevierville just to drop the camper rather than try and drive through Atlanta with camper, if I can do that, I guarantee it won't be a problem in the world coming back.
Yeah.
And just hopefully we can, like I said, we can figure out somewhere to drop it at so we can store it. So it'll be good for a couple of weeks. But I mean, I love the contest. I got a trophy back here and stuff. It was a great contest. Thank you for putting it on. Thank you everybody for being involved in it.
Yeah, and I think we didn't he say like kids in the metal shop, somebody made a metal shop, somebody with the school or something make the trophies or something. Remember somebody saying that? I can't remember. I got my trophies back here somewhere, but
I don't know who. I thought he said a CNC machine to make these trophies.
Yeah, maybe somebody with the school or something, or somebody don't know. I don't know, but it was awesome. I should have got the guy that donated the generator, because I got home, I was like, I can't even remember who he said donated the generator. So if Chris wants to give him a shout out on here, but anyway, so they had a sponsor donate a generator to the GC, so I took me a generator home too.
Cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome. That was cool. Talking about the contest, though, I know you kind of said that you kind of went back and started looking at some notes and stuff here to kind of just see where you've needed to kind of improve on and stuff. But you went in there, you done the contest, your mindset where it was, come out there and do it. But kind of tell us kind of the process as far as kind of what you go into whenever you feel like you're trying to beat your head against the wall, you're trying to regroup. Kind of tell us about that.
So yeah, the biggest deal was fixing myself. I knew I was missing on tenders because I knew I'd overcooked several things. Went to North Carolina, cooked that contest, overcooked pretty much everything, and then went to Boss Hog, and my chicken. I mean, not my chicken. I thought my chicken was wonderful at Boss Hog. It was absolutely great. I won my table, got 13th there. So I was good with chicken. Everything else, I mean, ribs got second place there. But my pork was really salty. I got a comment card saying salty. And I overcooked my brisket, and I got killed in tenders. So I knew everything happened before they even give me the comment cards. I knew what was wrong. So I had to fix myself, number one. And the notes, like, I look back on my injection, I was like, why in the frick is my pork so salty? in my injection, I put 20 ounces of liquid where I was supposed to put 32 ounces of liquid, or back down on my dry ingredients. And I've always done that. I've always mixed 32 ounces with my recipe, because when I do the SCBA stuff, I inject 8 butts, and I just don't change anything. When I inject 4 butts at KCBS, I just throw the rest of the injection away. So that's what I did wrong at Boss Hog, and that was just an amateur, stupid mistake on my part. So, and it cost me pork, because my pork was really good other than it's salty. It was freaking salty. I mean, I didn't even put no finish rub, no anything. That was salty, and I was like, man, this is crazy. So I got a extremely salty comment card, actually 2 of them in pork. And it's just going back, man. I looked at my that top sheet you get that has your appearance, your taste, and your tenderness scores on it. And a guy told me this years ago. He said, man, if you're struggling, go look at your sheet, and you got to see where you're missing it at. And that's what you fix. So I look back, I had all 9s in appearance. So I was good on that. I wasn't worried about appearance. That's something you can control yourself there. And then they were killing me in taste. So I said, I got to fix something in taste. And I got killed a few times in tenderness. And I knew what that was. I was just overcooking stuff, not paying attention, getting comfortable and lazy. And that's exactly what it is. I mean, I talked about that last night on the show last night with Brian. It's just getting lazy. Getting over. I ain't gonna say overconfident, because I ain't never been overconfident. I'm just not that guy. But just getting extremely too comfortable and lazy, and just thinking that it's all gonna fix itself and do itself, and it's not. So number 1, I had to fix myself. Number 2, I just had to kind of make sure that I had got my recipe. Instead of putting it in my head, write it down, take a picture of it, go back, and when you're mixing everything, look at your recipe when you're mixing stuff. So, yeah, and that's the biggest thing. I mean, I knew I was wrong before I went there, and I did. I mean, I just kind of, had to sit there for a few weeks and just kind of figure out how I was going to fix myself, number 1, and then I know I can cook. I just had to prove it to myself again. So, and you get in those slumps, and just like Brian said last night, you look back at your cooks, you really ain't in a slump. Most people would love to be where you're at, and I'm very humble to say, I mean, I appreciate that. I'm very thankful for what I've accomplished in barbecue. But I'm competitive. If I'm not going to be right there in it every weekend, I'll find me something else to do. and that might sound selfish. That's just the way I am. That's why I don't play golf. I suck at golf. I've tried it several times, but I ain't no good at it. That's why I don't play it. So, but it's just that thing, man. If you're gonna be competitive, you gotta know what it takes to be competitive first of all, and gotta have a little discipline in there somewhere.
But one thing I'll let everybody kind of out here take what he's saying here, kind of take it to a grain of salt, though, is when you start making these changes for flavor, you need to be careful making wholesale changes. You need to kind of just figure out kind of just tweaks, because it might be just switching out one rub, maybe the thing that kind of brings you to up that level. Because you start doing the wholesale changes, the problem with that is you got nothing to base it on. You've changed completely changed your whole recipe. And we've been doing that this year. Every contest we're doing is a different recipe, but it's not a wholesale recipe. It's like I might pull this out and put this in just because I'm kind of just playing around and seeing kind of his tenderness game. Right. What's this rub doing to different things, and we've been successful. Not successful like you have, but we've been consistent this year. So I would say when you start doing that, just do small changes. Don't try to do big changes, because then that's when you're chasing rabbits.
The best advice I can give to anybody that's in this crazy competition cooking world that we're in, you got to get your food in the middle of the road. I'm telling you, you got to have middle of the road food. Number 1, you got to get your tenderness right. It all starts there. You can control the way it looks, like I said before. That's just being disciplined and not being lazy and making your food look good in the box. You got to make your food look good in the box. But getting back to keeping the middle of the road goes all over taste. You cannot have nothing crazy out there. All my food this past weekend was middle of the road. Nothing was extremely great. I put it that way. But I knew my tenderness was right, except for my ribs. I thought I overcooked my ribs. Everything else I was very happy with. My chicken had been a little spicy the last couple of times I cooked it, but it was good. And I never got a comment card saying it was too spicy. It's always done spicy, but I thought it was spicy. This week, that spice wasn't as hard as it has been. It was still there, but it just wasn't as bold as it has been, I guess you would say. My pork, I didn't go crazy with my pork. The tenderness was good. It wasn't too salty, and it tasted good. So I didn't go too crazy with the finish dust. I put a light coat of finish dust on it and barely glazed it with a little bit of sauce mixed with some au jus. I didn't go heavy with the sauce. I wanted it to taste like it did when I took it apart, because it was good. So all I did was just amp it up a little bit with some finishing dust, and I took very, very little sauce, halved it with some au jus, and that's what I glazed over with. And middle of the road. I didn't go crazy with anything. My brisket, I thought brisket was really good. When I sliced it, I didn't drown it in au jus and start pouring all kind of stuff all over it. I set it on the board and lightly coated it with some sauce mixed with some au jus mixed with a little sauce. And I thought they had light coat of finish dust, put it in the box because it tasted good. It wasn't bland, it wasn't spicy, it wasn't sweet. It tasted like good brisket.
So Donnie Bray said this in his class years ago. One of the first classes I took. He's like, think about it this way: if you like something that tastes like pork, that tastes like peach, that's great. He said, but there might be a judge that hates it tastes like peach.
Exactly.
So if you turn in something that tasted like peach, you may get a 999, but you may get a 666.
Right.
So you have to turn something into it that everybody is going to appreciate. And I think that's the kicker we're in right now. We don't know who's judging the barbecue. If we knew who was judging barbecue, we knew what they liked, then we could definitely start critiquing some flavors for that person. But we don't know that.
Right.
So what we have to do is turn in food that is looks good, is tenderness we can control, not to the level that we can control appearance, but we can still control tenderness pretty good. But get a flavor in there that's going to be consistent, that's going to hit the marks, have a sweetness and smoke to it, and a little bit of savoriness to it, and some kind of like a back end heat to it.
Yeah.
When it go down at the scores, you want it gone.
You got to have savory sweet and everything except brisket. Brisket's got to taste like brisket. I don't think brisket. I've never turned in sweet brisket, and that might be where I'm missing. I don't know. I suck at brisket. I'll go ahead and tell you. I freaking absolutely suck at it. Yeah. So, but yeah, I like my brisket. I even told Hardy you remember what I told you when I opened my brisket up, took it out, I opened the lid on the tinfoil.
You said it was good.
Yeah, no, remember that smell? I told you I had that smell.
You said it had good smell that you
I opened the brisket and I was like, that's that smell I used to have when I used to get calls in brisket. I hadn't smelled that in a long time. It just had that good smell to it, and it was good. It was I can't do good in brisket anyway, but I can't do no better than what I had this past weekend.
You beat me.
It was good. I was on a good table. I got lucky.
You beat me. You done good. You had a good brisket. The flavor's good. Texture's good. And that's all we can say. You done good with brisket. You won the contest, Jason.
Yeah, I won all 4 tables, and the last time I did that was in Greenwood. So that was a good weekend. That weekend was like a Greenwood cook to me. It was when I turned in all my food in Greenwood. It was right down the middle of the road, nothing fancy. I just had a solid cook that day and got on some good tables. So.
It was definitely it was a fun contest and had a lot of good. The judging was good, consistent in there across the board. What I thought, so I can feel like can't do any better than we done. And I know where we dropped the ball at, so I know what to regroup for next time to do the contest. I think we're going to do Maryville next, or Murrayville, whatever you want to call it. So it's gonna be good times. We were going to go to Arkansas this weekend, but Jason Hardy had a cracked rim on my trailer, so my trailer's still in Tennessee. Surprise, surprise.
Jeez, really?
Yes, really.
He needs a rim sponsor.
He needs something, man.
Get Jason Hardy a rim sponsor. And
tires and trailers.
Finally got his axles and all, whatever, springs and all that stuff straight now. So I think he needs either that or a match. Anybody got a box of matches you can loan him?
Don't loan it to me. Just feel free to go by and do what you need to do. Don't loan it to me. I don't need them.
I did 501 every night I got home.
Man, I sit there and got down there, got to the Buc-ee's, and Calhoun stopped. My pressure still was dropping, so I pumped it back up. Drove an hour, got the contest, and it still was dropping again. I'm like, well, that's either a slow leaking in the tire or it's a cracked rim. Pull it off. Alan on radar helped me pull it off. I'm like, yep, there's a cracked rim. Didn't have no spares because both of them messed up. So luckily I was leave it up there. We'll be in Maryville a few weeks, so I was able to leave it up there at the guy's house and drove home. Man, I tell you what, you can make some time not pulling a trailer.
Oh boy, there's 9-day difference.
Yep.
I mean, my dang truck gets 600 miles without a trailer behind it to tank of fuel. It can flat out roll.
Same here.
But pulling that trailer, that bed makes a lot of weight.
Oh yeah.
It's a good time. So one quick thing here. So we're gonna be talking about some rubs coming up, and if nobody's checked this rub out right here, we use this on the video coming up for the baby back rib. But just Heath Riles Competition blend rub. We use them in conjunction with some other rubs or in complement some other rubs. But this rub right here, if you have not checked this rub out, you need to check this rub out because it's got some amazing flavor to it. The color it gives is absolutely phenomenal. And we were really impressed with what it done to the baby back ribs mixed with the garlic jalapenos past weekend.
Oh yeah.
Memorial Day. I mean, it just truly blew our minds on that. So if y'all haven't yet, check that out. Links down below. And also, Snake River Farms got a sale going on right now for get some free food for Father's Day. So on down below in the description of our stuff here, there's a link to go to Snake River Farms. Check it out. Use that link in there. We get affiliate links for all that. You get some really good products, but check it out. With that, you get some. You got a Father's Day discount code coming through there. Also, we've used this Herb's honey. This has got awesome honey. Guys out of Charlotte's got it. Justin knows the guy. We've been using some video stuff out here. But the flavor of this stuff put in some food, it's definitely something other you need to check it out. So check out Herb's honey. It links down below in the description. Great products. We greatly appreciate that. Jason, you got any sponsors you need to give a holler out to?
Yeah, of course. Roy Oak is a longtime sponsor of mine. Atlanta Barbecue Store, Recteq Grills, Yes Dear Barbecue Sauce, Tailgater Hater Barbecue Sauce. I think that's it. Then boy, let's see. Am I missing anybody there? Oh, Heath Riles. Dog, I'm about to miss Heath Riles. Yeah, Heath Riles just come on this year with me. I mean, I've been using his rubs for the last several years, but yeah, I was lucky enough to get on board with him this year. And matter of fact, his rub, that competition rub you're talking about, that's a proven winner in pork in pork and ribs, but definitely pork. And if you watch Jason's videos coming out, you're gonna see how good it was on ribs. So that and I'm not gonna lie. Thanks to Carrie put me on the chicken rub when it come out, and you know, that's a big part of my Natty Bird recipe. Is all his. I ain't gonna say all of them, but there's 3 rubs that are very important in the Natty Bird chicken. So
yep,
yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, no doubt.
Heath Riles got really good products. How about you, Justin?
Yeah, Team DB180 Dead Bird Barbecue. Use their stuff, sauce and rubs in both barbecue and steak, and then using DB180 dry steak brine, which I think I'm one of the only people that uses it dry, which is crazy. Like literally just put it on, let it sit there for a little bit, and I wash it off with water. This weekend, somebody came by and they were like, "What are you doing to your steak?" And I was like, "I'm washing the dry brine off." You can't leave it on too long; it'll turn that to mush. Also, honored to still be on Team Steak Princess Barbecue. Riley and her family, good friends of ours, and use their stuff in barbecue and steak and ancillaries when I can. And then Team, I guess we could call it Team Herb's Honey. Herb's a good guy. He used to compete. He won back when they did Backyard at Memphis in May, and he said that was my goal. And I said if I did it, then I was hanging it up. And he said I did it, and I didn't compete anymore after that. So, but he's got a lot of different varieties of honey. They're all grown around here in Charlotte and Union County, which is a little bit south of here. He's got hives all over the place, and jarred, has them in little bear bottles, which is always weird. Why why is the honey in a shape of a bear in the little bottle? I've never figured that out. I mean, I guess they eat a lot of honey, but he's got whipped honey that are flavored.
Man, you ain't never watched Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Man, that guy was always had his hand on one of them honey jars. He's always had his head stuck in the honey jar.
Bears eating stuff. I think of what's the one that got the picnic baskets? Who was he?
Yogi the Bear. Yogi the Bear.
Yogi Bear. Yeah, that's what I always thought
Yeah,
of.
Yogi Bear. That's right. Yeah, they got a place in Hartsville here called Yogi Bear Fried Chicken, and their secret ingredient is honey. And
Okay. Well, fair enough. I always thought he wanted a sandwich, man. He didn't want no honey. He wanted
Fried chicken with honey. That'd be interesting.
fried chicken with honey.
What's Joseph asked about the mafia? Yeah. We got. Is it a member of the mafia? He talking about the SS Mafia. Yeah, no doubt. That's the
they don't let me in no groups. By the way,
blank show. I don't even. Yeah, I don't know what that is, Jason Hardy. We just.
I don't get in no group.
It happened one night. I ain't gonna lie. I don't even know how it happened, but it happened.
It changes contest to contest.
It does.
The S Show Mafia.
Friday nights only.
But no, I don't have any. We don't have the secret handshakes and the secret password on Amazon and all the secret elbow bumps and all that stuff is some certain people's has. So
Jason, you the president of the?
They promoted me this past weekend.
God bless you. Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Well, listen, y'all, we got some great sponsors. We got Royal Oak Charcoal, we got Recteq, we got Heath Rouse, Atlanta Barbecue Store. Great sponsors, been with us a long time. Good people. We also got Herb Honey, like I said, in the products we're using here. Check this stuff out. All the links down below. But it's been a great show. Appreciate everybody coming on the show. Make sure you share it with friends and family. Be on there next Tuesday night. If you got any questions, any ideas, share it with us. We'd love to have you on the show next time. Appreciate it. See y'all next time.